you have to sit? It's Michael. Am I wrong? He looks like a Michael. Michael! What's more shit?
Mine! He's coming back. The audacity of this bitch to come back towards us after I told him to go away. The audacity of the capacity. I hate him. Get away from me! Stop walking!
He just wants the food. It's right there. Come on.
No! Stop!
I just want him to make the noise again.
I'm calling it.
That's a pigeon.
Apparently, seagulls live in Colorado.
Oh shit! Wait, no, let him get it! No!
James Dean.
Did he die?
Yeah. James Dean? Yes, he died in the 50s.
Okay.
Sunday brunch.
Sunday brunch. Welcome back to Sunday brunch
Or a mimosa.
and
brunch.
brunch along
With
us.
That was good.
That was good.
We're connected.
We are connected. Well, it's been 2 weeks since the last old episode.
True. Well, we've
Yeah.
had
We've
It's
had a
been-
wild time.
a wild time.
Yeah.
But we get through it. We live life. School,
Mhm.
for me at least, school is happening in like a month. What about you?
Pretty much a month and a half.
Okay.
It starts, actually, that's kind of a lie too. It starts like September 8th, but I'll be like moving in and stuff in like
Okay.
a month and a half.
Noise.
Noise. Wow.
Noise.
I have to re-register for all my classes like on Tuesday.
Hell yeah.
Sad.
Why do you have to re-register? What's going
Because
on?
before when we registered, all the classes were like not online, but now they are all online or whatever. I don't know. I don't really understand why they couldn't just make the certain classes online. I don't know why they had to like change everything.
Yeah.
And like, why can't you just say like, oh, well, this one will be online, this one won't? I don't know.
I just also feel like they knew. I
They
feel
knew.
like I find it very suspicious that they're now just being like, well, we're changing it to online now, but they knew
Yeah.
that they were gonna have to change it to online,
Yeah.
like.
Yeah.
But I only have one class online so far, which I'm surprised about because I have friends who have like all 6 online, which
Mhm.
is a crazy concept.
I think I'm gonna be that
surprised-
guy.
That guy,
All
you're
6
gonna be that guy,
online.
yeah.
I think so.
I mean, I have some classes that would be. I think right now I'm taking a gender and sexuality studies class to satisfy a credit, but also because it's very interesting. But that one's online. But I have a Chinese cinema class where in the mornings you go to like an hour lecture, which is where we watch the movies, and then you go back later at night to another one where the teacher like talks about it. I feel
Mhm.
like making that morning one an online class would be so easy to just like
Yeah.
send somebody a link or do like a Zoom, like share your screen and we just watch the movie from our dorm. I feel like it's
Mhm.
unnecessary for us to be sitting together
Yeah.
to do that,
Yeah. I agree.
But I don't know. It's not, I'm not the president of Tulane University, Mike
Mhm.
Fitz.
I was looking through Instagram yesterday and I found funny pictures of our president giving the like honorary doctorate degrees to Justin Timberlake and Missy Elliott. He looks so awkward. He's just like, hey.
Here it is. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh god. I'm sure that Tulane gives honorary degrees, but we're not specific enough in a field, you know? Like you guys are
Mhm.
like music, and we're just
Mhm.
kind of like, I don't know.
Mhm.
We have a medical school, but I don't think anybody would get an honorary medical degree.
They give honorary doctorates to like 3 people every year at Berkeley, and then whoever gets them are like the speakers at graduation. So I'm
Oh,
really hoping that when I graduate, it's like a celebrity I'm actually familiar with, and not just like, I don't know, Lil Nas X. Love him, but he's not my fave. He's not
yeah.
up there anyway.
How do they choose
I don't
who's?
really know because it's like they did Aretha Franklin one year, and then
That'd be
last
crazy.
year was Justin Timberlake, Missy Elliott, and one of the guys who was in the original Hamilton cast. I don't remember
Oh,
what his
nice.
name was.
Was it?
Um,
It wasn't Lynn, right? It was
mm-mm.
somebody
Let me
less.
see. Uh, it was. Oh, this year was John Legend and 2 other people I have not personally heard of. Um, okay, last year. Oh, that's more people than I thought. It was Missy Elliott,
Mhm.
Alex Lacamore. Is that a Hamilton guy?
Alex Lacamore. Let's look it up. We have Google.
Alex
Alex
Lacamore.
Lacamore.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
him.
yeah.
Yeah, and then there's like Justin Timberlake, and then there's 2 other people that I'm not familiar with them.
Who was it? Hold on a minute. Hold on a
Hold
minute. He
on.
might have been he was the musical director. He wasn't an actor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Good for him. We love that.
We do love that.
So that makes sense that like he's doing that rather
Yeah.
than like just it's
Just
one of
fighting.
these like random actors.
Like
Here
random
you go.
backup character. It's like
Oh,
wait, no, I almost said Confederate soldier number 3, but then I remembered it's not the Civil War, it's the
wait a second.
Revolutionary War. Um,
Speaking of Hamilton,
uh-huh.
I saw Hamilton. I don't want to be like that theater kid, but I did. I'm gonna be that theater kid. I did
Okay.
see Hamilton in the Rich Rogers Theater like, oh, I don't even know, 2017 or 2018,
Uh-huh.
like a while ago.
Yeah.
And I remember like I had high expectations and they were blown out of the water when I saw it, but I never quite like, you know how some people got really, really, really into it. I
Mm,
was not that for a while. I was just like, wow, it's a great musical, you know, cool topic, whatever. And then when Disney Plus released it, I I don't know what it is. It triggered something.
mhm.
Something in my brain has flipped.
Has
And now
flipped.
like the songs do not leave my mind. It's some crazy like repetitive loop. I I am how did this happen?
I don't know.
How did this
Wow.
happen?
Wild.
What how? How?
I just realized we're on the right side for my thing. Never mind. Okay.
What?
Hamilton. I don't know. I was just having an externalized thoughts.
God, Justin.
I know. Wow. Yeah.
I'm trying to tell a
So-
heartfelt story about something that I'm passionate about, and you're doing this.
I'm sorry. I have not seen Hamilton in any fashion still. I've barely even listened to it. But I believe you, and I believe that
Yeah.
it is good.
I mean, it is. It's just it's one of those things where you're like, that could never work, and then it works really, really well.
That's why I'm saying there needs to be an Eleanor Roosevelt musical.
Look,
People would eat that up.
Look, I'm 100% happy to help with that in any way.
I think you need to
help
be
write
Eleanor.
I
No,
would
you're
die for
Eleanor.
that. That's I am Eleanor. No, you should. I mean,
I'll be Franklin D.
yes.
I'll be in my wheelchair like, I have polio. I can't be president right now. You need to help me. Or whatever.
A
I don't know.
loveless marriage.
A loveless
Oh,
marriage.
yeah.
Wow. Sad. That can
That
be
is
the
interesting.
the first song in the musical's called A Loveless
A
Marriage.
loveless marriage.
Wow.
He's in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. No, I think like it could really work. It's just a matter of like writing it. Because I mean, I hate to shoehorn this back in, but what I didn't realize was Lin-Manuel Miranda wrote In the Heights when he was in, I think, college, and just like basically pitched it to his college and was like, I want to perform this, but like I need space, I need like the funds, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, yeah, sure, because it was good enough apparently. And then he went on to win like a crazy amount of these. It went on to like, it had a whole run, and like I didn't realize you could just do that. I feel like
So what we need to do is we need to
just
ask
write
Berkeley
it.
or Tulane and be like, give us space. We'll fly someone somewhere and we'll
Yeah,
make it
come
work.
on.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think if they, and I feel like a big part of it is like, so this last semester we obviously didn't get to do it, but Tulane was doing Little Shop of Horrors,
Mm-hmm.
and obviously they had to like pay for the rights and everything, and since they're a bigger college, and I'm sure Berkeley has more money than Golden High School did, so they can like have those bigger productions.
Yeah.
But if you can like propose your own that costs, so like honestly you don't have to pay for the rights, you just have to pay for like the costuming and the sets and all of that stuff. I'm sure that schools would be more, if it's good, more than happy to do that rather than, I think there's something to be said about having like a name, Little Shop of Horrors, yeah, but I mean, there's no fault in trying, I feel like. So we just gotta, and I know that like we just gotta write it. That's all I'm saying.
Just gotta do it.
Just gotta do it. Honestly.
Just gotta go.
Yeah.
Well, here's a good transition.
Okay.
It's been 2 weeks since we arrived in Portland, which means that we did not get sick from traveling to
Has it been 2 weeks?
It's been 2 weeks. It hasn't been 2 weeks since we came back, but it's been 2 weeks since we went, which means no one coughed up the Rona onto us on the plane. Thank you, people.
Goodness gracious. I mean, if Corona didn't happen, where would you want to go? Like if it was normal times, or I guess after Corona has been, like, obviously it's not just gonna pass, it's gonna be a while, but where would you like to go post Corona?
Well, I would like to go down to New York from Boston because that's like an easy trip, I feel like, and it's a fun time. Still want to go to Norway randomly. I don't know why. I don't know when or where. I want to see those northern lights though.
That'd be cool.
Hell yeah. And I still want to do a road trip through the yonder states. I think that would be a good time.
Yeah, I agree.
We're doing a road trip back to Boston.
Ooh.
Staying at my aunt's house in Missouri. We're going all the way up through yonder states, all the way back up to that good old T-town, Beantown.
That's intense.
Yeah.
But that's fun. Like being able to
scoot on up.
Yeah, the United States. Wow, amazing.
Wow.
Yeah. I feel like I'm not doing a road trip to go back to school. I'm just flying. Originally we were thinking of it, but my dad isn't gonna be able to go, so we were like, my mom was like, we're not fucking driving. So now I have to figure out how to get my sewing machine on the plane. It's gonna be a carry-on because I don't trust people to not throw it because I know they'll throw it. So I'm just gonna carry it on.
Amazing.
I don't know.
Is that a needle?
Oh god. Yeah, I know. Like, well, I have our family friend. She brings it on the plane, and she said, and I have a case for it and everything, so it's easy to like transport. It's not like I'm just holding it open, sewing machine. But I don't know. It's gonna be something.
Hmm.
It's gonna be something annoying.
We love that though.
But
It adds to the romance of flying.
what are you planning? Well, you're in an apartment, so
Hmm.
you don't have to really worry about like how you have the space and you have your own like area. But
Uh-huh.
are you planning on, let's say Corona hits again, a second wave happens and they
Uh-huh.
shut everything down again, which doesn't matter because you're online school anyway, but
Yeah,
would you stay in your apartment?
I think so.
Mm-hmm.
I'd lock the door, put a plant on the door so no one can open it, lock down. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
um, yeah, I feel like for me, it would not, if it did happen again where everyone went crazy, it would not, at least this semester, affect my anything.
Yeah.
Because I think like in Boston too, I'm pretty sure they had like a lot of cases at one point. Like they were pretty bad, probably because of all of the like colleges and stuff there. I don't know. But like I think they're being a lot more cautious, like reopening and stuff. And I feel
Yeah.
like if something did happen, it would be when everyone like came back. But I don't know. But yeah, I'm planning to just remain, in my good old little top floor bunker. Just go on the roof deck now and then. I don't know.
So
Flying.
is the roof just for you?
No, it's fun. There's like when you go in, there's a staircase up to all the doors of the apartments, and then in the apartments there's another door that goes to a secret staircase. Like
Ooh.
everyone has access to it, but it's not like you. I don't think you can get on it from the first floor. I haven't really explored because we were just looking at it that one time, but it seems to me that it is a secret staircase that
We
you
love
have
that.
access to once you pay, and then you can go up on
Oh.
the roof. Yeah,
Ooh, paying. Yeah.
paying. You love
Yeah.
money.
Whoa, what the fuck is that? I feel
Whoa.
like there's a bug in my room,
Oh
but I
no.
just saw it in a
We
reflection.
went to IKEA yesterday to get
Yes.
me furniture because we were going to buy it online. But then online was like, oh, it'll get here August 20th. And we leave the 28th and we don't trust it to get here before we have to leave. So we went and got some stuff. The line was wild. We had to wait for like at least 15 minutes. I don't know. It seemed like a long time because the line like went out the door and then it curved like 4 times and we got in the fourth curve and we went
Holy
on down.
moly.
There's some grandma there in a wheelchair. Don't take grandma to IKEA right now. That's not what anyone needs. That's not what she needs. Why does she need
Is
a
she
new
here?
kitchen? You know, just take pictures
IKEA
for
has an
her.
online store.
I know. Anyway, um,
Did you get what you needed to get?
we got everything but a desk, but technically I don't need a desk. It was more a cosmetic thing. We'll look around, but we'll probably just take one we already have.
Yeah.
But we got a bed, a little
Ooh.
dresser, and
Ooh.
a night table, night table.
Nice.
Uh, they made us sign a waiver for the dresser in case it falls onto me and crushes me. The
Uh
usual.
That's terrifying.
Yeah,
Love it though.
yeah. So
Goodness
fun.
gracious.
Yeah,
I can't imagine dying that way. That would be
I know.
horrible. Yeah, well, I'm in a dorm, so I don't get the luxury of picking
Your
things.
dorm last year was it seemed fancy though because it had like exposed brick. I was like,
Oh, yeah.
ooh, fancy.
Was it just I feel like it was fine, but it
Mm.
was like one of the oldest buildings. They had a problem with like mold and they had like it was just
That's how
One time
mine
I
was
found
too.
a dead lizard in the community
Oh my,
showers.
oh
That was
no.
great. Loved that
Oh
so much.
no.
The
Dead
lizard.
lizard.
And like it was fine, and I was happy to have a place to live, and my roommate was fine. So well, she was good. So um, I kind of lucked out. I feel like
Mhm.
my floor was really good. Like everybody was nice, and our RA was great, and like we all got along, and
Mhm.
I was automatically kind of taken in because the girl who I replaced was not friends with anybody on that floor because
Oh no.
everyone got in a fight with her. That's why
Oh
she left.
no.
Allegedly, that's just what
Yeah.
I've heard. So automatically, people were like, "You're better than her because we don't like her." And I was
Good.
like, "Cool." And we were separated, boys and girls, so it was like we had a common area, and then the boys were on this side and we were on this side, which was nice.
Uh-huh.
It was fine, and I think this semester my dorm is going to be much better.
Uh-huh.
Green bomb.
Did your building smell?
Did it smell?
Yeah.
The bathrooms sometimes smelt like fish, and that's weird, but we don't know why. I asked about it a few times because it would happen, and nobody really knew. But my dorm specifically did not, which was nice. But the like air was on, all, like AC was full blast all the time, so it was always really cold, which was good in Louisiana. But it was also like, Jesus Christ.
Hold on. Thank you. Okay. Brunch along with me. I have reusable straws now. They're gold.
We love good.
So fancy.
Good, you should.
I know.
Getting a straw every time you go to the Starbucks.
These Starbucks.
Wet?
What? I saw a TikTok that was like a girl working at Starbucks, and there's like, "Excuse me, this is supposed to be hot and a latte," and she goes, "I'm so sorry," and just throws it. She like chucks it. It hits the cupboards.
I love those videos like that.
Yeah.
So funny.
Anyway,
Have
I
you
asked. Oh,
I've sent did you see the video I sent you last night? The emoji ones where it's like when you accidentally type
When you
and it's like
accidentally
all the laughing emojis and then a random emoji in the middle.
Yeah.
The funniest one I've seen, and did I show you the one with the bike? It's like ha ha ha, and then
Maybe.
there's a guy biking emoji in the middle, and then it's like ha ha ha, and it's like he's like ha ha ha, 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 and then the camera flips and he's just on a bike, and then flips back. It's so funny.
Amazing.
It's the best meme since sliced bread.
Amazing. And sliced bread is pretty memeable.
Pretty good meme.
Yeah.
Let me tell you. Okay, continue.
I only asked why, or if your dorm building smelled because mine did.
That's so
It's
concerning.
like one time I brought Monty in and she hadn't been in that building before, and she's like, "Oh my god, no wonder you want to move." Yeah, there's probably some mold or something, but like it was like each like there are lots of sections because it used to be a like old hotel. You know, Boston has old architecture. So it was like
that makes sense.
every little area has like a room and then a hall to like another room, and then there's like rooms off of those rooms, and it felt like each little like corridor had like its own smell to it. Like one time I walked out of my door and there's just the smell of cigarettes wafting up, and I was like, great. You know, the usual. But now I'm not there anymore, and I think the people that live in where I live now are like not all college students. It seemed like it was lots of like just people who live in Boston, so that's great. Yeah.
Is that allowed?
Yeah.
I'm confused. Are they dorm buildings, or are they just like they rented out a bunch of apartments and then you guys were all shoved into one?
The apartment I'm living in?
Oh, the apartment you're living in. I thought you meant your dorms from last year.
No, the dorm
like, what?
the dorms last year were all Berkeley, but yeah, now the apartment
Just a
building is
random
like
old lady in
not.
our dorm building.
Yeah, random old woman. I heard that's like some people were like living in the dorms illegally.
Honestly, though, like,
Big mood, but
I would do that. Oh, no, I
mhm.
wouldn't. There, for what you're paying to live in
Yeah.
a dorm, first of all, atrocious.
True.
How dare they? I'm living in a box
Uh-huh.
for so much money.
Yeah.
Why do they need that? They don't.
don't
The answer
know.
is they don't.
Yeah.
But yeah, are you excited to be back in Boston?
hmm I'm like neutral. Cause
What?
I'm not like, oh my god, I can't wait to get there, but I'm
Yeah.
also not like, I don't want to go. I'm just like, okay, we're gonna go. But I think being there will help the college experience and will help my like get stuff done mindset, because when I'm there
Mood.
I've noticed that I'm more like, okay, I'm here to like work and get a college degree, as opposed to when I'm here I'm like, I don't want to do work right now.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Me every day. I've been so unmotivated while
Mhm.
being at home. And granted, I'm unmotivated like all the time. But I did notice, yeah, being like at Tulane in the library. I don't know if the library's gonna be open, but at Tulane has made me a lot more like I need to get stuff done. My only issue is like if coronavirus happens and then I'm stuck in like a dorm or something, my dorm, that's gonna be like when I'm in my dorm, my brain isn't on like work,
Uh-huh.
you know?
Yeah.
It's like I have to go somewhere else. Like I have to go into the, generally the library is like the only place I can get stuff done because oh god. I don't want another
Mood.
but I
Yeah.
know it's gonna happen and I don't want it to happen.
Yeah.
Mm.
There are people from Berkeley that like stayed in the dorms when the
Whoa.
lockdown started.
Were
Lockdown.
they allowed to?
Yeah, if you were like from, like, it seemed like people who were like not from the United States,
Oh,
if they
I
didn't
think we
want to
did
go
that
all the way
too.
back, they could
Yeah.
waive the you have to get out in 3 days thing. And, yeah.
We had some kids though that like my French class last semester that I was taking, there was a kid who lived in New Orleans and for some reason didn't go home, just like stayed on campus.
We've all been there.
And I was so confused. I was like, I get it, like you could just leave at any time, but I'm also just like, but why? But why?
But why?
So I don't know.
I don't know why.
I don't know. Oh my gosh, look what I have.
Oh my gosh.
I have like a Google like
Oh my
card
god.
thing
We love that.
for your phone because my French teacher's like, we're going to Canada today, boys or girls.
Oh my god.
It's really fun. And I
We're going to
genuinely have
Canada
found so much excitement through putting my face into a piece of cardboard.
Wow.
And experiencing the world.
Virtual reality Canada field trips. Wow. Miss Frizzle, who? Am I right? I'm just
Speaking, oh my god, I'm gonna cry. Speaking of Miss Frizzle, the woman who wrote Magic School Bus died a few days ago. And they were like my favorites. It's like one of my favorite television programs. Like, rest in peace to an icon who gave us another icon.
It's true.
Have you seen that tweet that's like, Miss Frizzle be like, I know a spot, then she take you into Jake's esophagus.
Jake's esophagus. Amazing. We love Jake's esophagus.
Good times, good times.
Eli sent me a thing that was like from Kentucky. I guess there was a local well-known like guy who worked at a Kroger, which is like their King Supers if you're from Colorado. And but they like sent out an email yesterday that's like, local legend Dan has died from coronavirus, and they're like, no. Dan. Anyway, yeah.
Man, I've just being inside is like I don't like the outdoors very much, and I hate the
Mhm.
sun with a
Mhm.
burning passion. It gives me a headache. I don't like it. It's too
Mood.
bright. But I do be finding myself like, I should go outside.
Mhm.
Who am I? This is new. Who is she?
I am definitely the type of person that like really likes to just hang out and not do anything, but I will say it has gotten to the point that like everything I do, I'm kind of like, well, I already just did that.
Yeah.
I don't
me
want to
too.
do that again. I don't know.
Yeah. And my like screen time or whatever on my phone is really up. Not
Mhm.
necessarily because I'm like using it, but because like I'll put on like a mindless YouTube video and listen to it while I just like do other things,
Mhm.
which is fine because whatever. But oh my god, the other day my phone was like, your phone is up 90% from last week to like 7 hours, and I was
Oh
like,
no.
holy shit. But it was because I like when I go do my job as I pull weeds for this guy, a family friend.
Mhm.
I put on a YouTube video and just like listen to it while I do it. So I
Uh-huh.
was like, holy shit, what did I spend 7 hours on my phone? I didn't.
Mood.
But I was
Speaking
like,
of
oh my god.
crops and gardens, have you heard of lettuce hair?
Excuse me?
Lettuce hair. Does Hank want
No.
lettuce hair?
What the fuck? I'm searching this up.
So I was getting my hair cut like 2 days ago, and while she was chopping it, she's like, "Have you heard of lettuce hair?" And I was like, "No." And she's like, "I thought it was like a style, but it's literally just when people grow their hair long and they're men." I don't know. I couldn't find anything about it. I looked it up and I found something on Urban Dictionary that's like, "When your leg's so hairy, it looks like shreds of lettuce."
It looks like, from what I'm seeing, it's like the mullet kind of. Like it's that back, like you grow it really long, and when you push it back, the like back of it is the. It's hot. It's a hockey thing, I think. Hank had that kind of hair for a while,
See,
but
but I
Hank's
look it
hair.
up and I just get freaking like, I don't know, Ashley
Here,
Tisdale wearing lettuce
I'm
in her
gonna
hair.
screen. I'm screen
Oh
sharing.
my god.
Oh, you disabled screen sharing?
Oh my god, did I?
Nice
How
fucking
do I
job, mate.
how do I let you screen
Nice.
share
I don't
more?
know.
May allow
Allow attendees to screen share. Let me screen share. Host,
allow
please.
mute participant. No.
What?
Block place.
No.
Ask all. No. I don't ask to unmute.
Ridiculous.
Um
I can't believe you've done this, Justin. Frankly,
multiple. Wait, advanced sharing options.
whoa.
Who can share? All participants.
Yes.
Woo! Okay.
Did you click it?
Yeah, I think
Oh
so.
fuck yeah. Okay. We want to watch this. Share. Okay, look at this. So, first of all, mood. We've all been there, but
That's what
it
I was
looks,
seeing.
from what I'm seeing, it's like this thing.
Okay.
Like, so when it gets really long and then the boys start like pushing it back, it's like the flow. In lacrosse, we call that the flow.
V
Okay.
flow.
In
Okay.
hockey, apparently it's called lettuce hair.
Lettuce hair.
Me, that's dumb.
Yeah.
Here, I'll look up.
And see, I don't like that look personally.
It's very, very big in lacrosse. Like all the boys,
Yeah.
because the idea is like, and it became really popular with Combro Chill, which is this guy right here. We love him. But like he made this video in years ago called the flow bucket, and it
The
was like
flow
this
bucket.
like piece of hair that you could connect to the back of your lacrosse helmet, so if you didn't have your long hair it looked like you
Oh
did.
my
Like
gosh.
it was very funny, but it's very big because like the only way you can like this is huge, like the only way you can see their hair is if it's like growing really long in the back. So like Hank had that for a really long, like all of his friends do this.
Uh-huh.
It's less popular now than it was in like a while ago, and but yeah, that's kind of the move. in
Mood.
lax, if you will.
That's me, Lax Flow.
The lax flow. Okay, how
Lax
do
Flow.
I? Oh, new
Oh.
share. No. How do I? Oh, stop share. Boom.
Boom.
A little lacrosse history.
A little lacrosse
if
history.
You will. Very. That was
Speaking
a time.
of, I have to do some promo for a random person that I've never met. I've been listening to lots of meditation-oriented podcasts and Buddhist podcasts and shit. And I have to say, Sharon Salzberg is the love of my life, and she's the chillest icon that we all need right now. And she makes, that aspect of life more approachable, and we love her.
Oh,
and
that's nice.
I went ahead and purchased her book too. And then I'm almost done. I haven't read this more since the plane back. I'm almost done with that one.
Nice.
And a lot of it is like stuff that it seems simple, but you just never think about it that way. Like, if you think you're bad at something, tell yourself that you're not. Anyway.
Well, speaking of podcasts, I'll shout out a podcast I've been listening to, Dewy Dudes, which is like, it's a skincare podcast from that these two guys put on, because I feel like straight white men don't care about their skin very much. Men in general don't, but like especially like my Kurt hates things on his face, and I'm just like, oh my god, like he's lucky because he has like kind of good genes, so his skin is pretty good, but like always in the sun, has never worn sunscreen on his face because he doesn't like the feeling, like, and I'm just like, holy moly, we need to fix this, you know. So I've been listening to that, and I really like it because I think it's from a perspective of people who are trying to change a culture, kind of like it's not feminine to want to take care of yourself, and that's not even a bad thing if it is feminine, but it's like men have such an aversion towards it that like they're trying to change that. So I've been listening to that, and in that sense I was like, you know what, my skin's kind of rough because I've been inside, haven't been eating great, whatever. I'm trying a new sunscreen. I've always worn sunscreen. I've worn sunscreen every day since I was like 15, but I'm trying a new sunscreen. I'm trying to like consolidate my skincare routine into like less and less.
Amazing.
So it doesn't make anything crazy, because for a really long time I was doing like 9 steps, not the move. So I got a new sunscreen. It's like a lotion, but it also has SPF. So it's not 2 things, it's just that one thing. And then I also got this like lip sunscreen stuff, because that's something that people don't think of. And then I got like under eye stuff, and then which also has SPF in it, because a big SPF lady over here.
Love that.
And then I got an Australian clay mask. I don't remember how to like say the word, but I've seen all the ads on Instagram that are like, I stopped wearing foundation after I used this mask, and I'm like, I'll be the fucking judge of that. So I'm gonna do that. Are you okay?
I heard her crash. I don't know.
Oh no. That's it. That's all I wanted to say.
My podcast of choice is the Duncan Trussell Family Hour. It is not a family podcast. It sounds like it is, but it's not. He's like does advertisements for Viagra. Anyway, but the people who he has on are very like smart and like spiritual oriented kind of, and they're talking about current events, and it kind of blew my mind, so we love that. Anyway,
podcasts are just, I find it fascinating that we can just go online and find a podcast to even like the nichest topic we want to listen to, you know. So I think that's a really cool thing about it. But
I used to not be a podcast guy, but lately I'm a podcast guy.
Wild. We have a podcast, Justin.
And you know, Sharon Salzberg, who I was talking about, she has a meditation retreat place in Massachusetts. If I get too strained at Berkeley, I'm be like, I'm peacing out. I'm going to Barrie, Massachusetts, and I'm meditating.
Goodbye. You should. That'd be fun.
Yeah. If I like finish if I did that crazy thing where I like finish everything by the fall of my senior year, then in the spring, while I'm waiting for graduation to happen, I could just go to a meditation retreat and cleanse myself of the
Ooh.
toxicity. Anyway.
Holy moly. I need to start like meditating more because I have a tendency when I sit and close my eyes and it's quiet, I will fall asleep every time without fail. I have a problem. I fall asleep at the drop of the hat. So I need to train myself to not when I'm meditating, but
recommend some Sharon Salzberg.
thank you. I will
I'm just gonna
look it
say
up.
it. We love her.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Love
Well,
that was good.
I have made a conspiracy corner title and theme song, so now it's a real thing.
Okay,
I need
I'm putting
sunglasses.
Wow, I can't believe I've been left alone. Go vote. Remember to vote.
These are the glasses you told me not to get because they were from the and this shirt. This is one of the vintage shirts but it's cool. It has a wine stain on it. It has class and character.
Justin, no.
It adds to the romance of a vintage art. Okay. I have a crazy conspiracy today.
Okay, go. I'm excited. Here, you say. I'm gonna eat while you say.
You're gonna spit your food out. I'm just kidding. A UFO crashed in Brazil and the government covered it up.
Okay. First of all, excuse me. Second of all, just carry on. This will be fucking good.
So, a few weeks ago in Brazil, everyone saw a UFO and then it crashed and it started a forest fire. And then everyone started tweeting about it in America, North America, and was like, have you seen the hashtag Mage Forest crash? But then YouTube and Twitter went down for like 20 minutes. And when it came back up, the hashtag was gone and all of the videos about it were gone.
Now, I just want to specify. When you say UFO, that can mean any unidentified flying object.
That is true.
So, I need more details. First of all, that is sketchy, but I do need more details based on what you're giving me.
I believe, well, I mean, I don't have too many details, but I believe people thought it to be a flying saucer variety of UFO. Okay. It crashed. It caused a fire.
Wow.
Thoughts?
I mean, yeah. Something probably did crash, and that is suspicious that everything was taken down, but I don't know. Yeah, I feel like that's a weird set of circumstances surrounding something that I'm sure the government would want to cover up.
I had a whole train of thought and then it went off. Pulled out of the station without any of the passengers.
I have a conspiracy after you're
amazing. Done. You should go for it. You know.
Okay. Have you heard of the Wayfair like child trafficking stuff?
Isn't that a clothing app?
Wayfair, yeah, Wayfair is like, well, it's not clothing. It's for like house
cheap
stuff. Like,
oh, okay.
It's like a third party, like Amazon kind of like. So people are selling the things, they put it on Amazon, you buy it from Amazon, but you're buying it from a specific person. It's like that. It's like people upload their stuff onto Wayfair and then they buy from Wayfair, but it's like not, Wayfair's not the company, it's just like the way, the marketplace.
A bit like Etsy.
So, yeah, kind of. It's less like easy and less like you're just buying from Wayfair, but it's whatever, So basically, hold on to your hats because this is crazy. people started finding like these crazily priced things. So they'd like
Oh yeah.
have you
Yeah.
heard about this? Yeah, like
Uh-huh.
pillows for like $500, and like then there were separate listings of the exact same pillow, same pictures, whatever, for like 50. Like,
Mhm.
and then like these crazy like cabinets for like hundreds of thousands of dollars, and then like other ads that were like the exact same cabinet for a lot less. And then so like in these crazily like priced ones, it had the names of they had these random names in the titles basically. So if you back like you looked up those names, you'd find, and in a missing children's database, you'd find people who match that name who have been missing. So then like people were finding weird things in the how like sometimes on Amazon when you find a product, like don't buy from Amazon, but
Mhm.
you find an Amazon product and it's like the description is like all these crazy random words that are just like describing it, but they're not coherent. They'd find things that say like 16 years old randomly embedded in the middle of it, and they it has names, it's these crazy prices. So people thought at first people were like they're like you buy these and then they have children like in it
Oh
and you
no.
buy children, but then they were like that doesn't make any sense. It's probably just like a way to like transfer the money without
Mhm.
anybody knowing, because like who would look at Wayfair and be like that's weird that you're doing that. It's like a way to like get past a bunch of like stuff. So I think, and then like Wayfair, when people were like, "What the fuck," and Wayfair started just like taking things down without explanation. So
Mhm.
I think I don't know what the truth is. Obviously, I think there's too many coincidences, and it's too weird to not be something strange. Because like the fact that they haven't said anything, it's just one of those things where it's creepy and it's strange, and there's
Mhm.
doesn't seem to be like a like explanation you can give that would make it make sense.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but that's just something that's been happening recently.
What's sad about that is that it's very plausible
Yeah,
as
it's like
opposed to a
I
UFO
would be
crashing in Brazil.
surprised.
Anyway.
And kind of piggybacking on that, like
Hmm.
being plausible, I think the Galinda Maxwell thing, the Jeffrey Epstein, like the
Mm.
lady who was just um I don't think like I think she will die under suspicious circumstances,
Mm.
because we're either close. I saw a tweet that was like we're either so close to something that will change the world as we know it, or
Hmm.
she's gonna die, and it'll like give our suspicions.
What
So
is going to change the world? What?
so she says so she was involved with Jeffrey Epstein, and
Hmm.
she like was helping him get girls, and some people have even said that she
Yeah.
was like in on the abuse. So
Okay.
she says that she has videos of and information
Hmm.
regarding prominent figures, like involved in all of this. So if she does come forward and like presents all of this,
Hmm.
we're gonna have like this crazy, like it'll change everything, because we'll know what's going on, we'll know who's doing what, all these
Hmm.
prominent figures will be,
Well,
in,
there's even that
you
thing I
know.
saw. It was like a court case or something, and it said that like Donald Trump was in on the action with Jeffrey Epstein at some
He
hotel.
them. They
Yeah.
have like photos all together and stuff. I know that
Uh-huh.
one of them was photoshopped, but the other one was not. Like there's one of
Hmm.
them. And what's strange is CNN actually like used the picture of all of them together for one of their things on Epstein, but they had cropped Donald Trump out. So it's
Hmm.
just like Epstein and Maxwell or whatever. So and then everybody was like, what the fuck? Like you need to the news is that you have to like make sure that they're all together. So it's just a crazy like how intertwined. Honestly, my opinions on Trump, but
Hmm.
I fucking hate the guy. But I think there's a lot more people as well who are in that that we don't even know about, you know? Like,
Yeah.
it's going to be crazy, I'm sure. And, like,
Mhm.
I think we deserve to know because I'm sure there are people who were, like, think are perfectly fine and they're not, you know?
Yeah.
So, and it's just a crazy concept that somebody can be, like, that sick in the head, you
Mhm.
know? I don't know. The whole situation is crazy, you know, and I don't have a lot of faith, but in what's gonna
Mhm.
happen. But you know,
Side note, do you have
hmm
to leave anytime soon? I have more discussion topics, but if you
no,
have to,
I can do another like 15-ish, 20 minutes.
amazing. Okay. I have a follow-up or a follow-up to an old conspiracy theory you're talking
Oh,
about, but it's like
okay.
historical evidence that I have found from like watching different
Is it Roanoke?
no, it's Atlantis.
Oh,
Hold on to your hats.
fuck's sake, no.
No, it's cool.
Go
So,
ahead.
I was I've been watching like lots of History Channel stuff because what else do you do right now? And I watched one
Awesome, man.
about they were like looking for possible places that Atlantis could have been. First thing, this is not Atlantis related, but I think it's cool. The Sphinx is older than the pyramids.
Hmm,
It has
interesting.
water erosion on it, which would indicate at one point it was like in water or underwater. And there's a civilization that did precede Egypt that they just recently found that they think actually built the Sphinx, and then Egypt just like fixed it up. They're like, oh, the head fell off. We'll make a new head. I don't know.
Oh,
But
interesting. Hmm.
the Atlantis thing is interesting because um, most of the time people's justification for it not being a real civilization is that
Because it
Plato.
was underwater.
No, it's not underwater. It sank into. It
I
like
agree with that.
crumbled into water.
Okay, I can agree with
Yeah.
that.
No, there. But most people usually justify it by saying Plato made it up. It's a story Plato wrote.
What? I've never heard of that. Is
No,
that where
Plato.
it came from?
Yeah, Plato wrote a
Oh,
story
I
called
had
Atlantis.
no. I thought we
But
all just agreed that Atlantis was a thing.
no, Disney took it and made a movie out of it, but that was a very
That was
fictionalized
later,
thing.
yeah.
But so the original story comes from Plato that we know of, but then if you look into it, you see that Plato received the story from his uncle. His uncle told him it after his uncle went to Egypt, and the Egyptian priests like brought him in a temple and showed him like, oh, here's the accounts of Atlantis. This was a civilization from 9,000 years ago, and here's all the accounts of what happened to it.
What?
Food for
That's
thought.
kind of wild.
That it what basically
Maybe,
the
yeah.
theory is that um it was just a place on like an island or something that might have been like volcanic or something in that general area, and the volcano or whatever erupted and made it get washed away, and only a few people like survived and
Hmm.
could go to other civilizations because I guess they're like supposedly trading partners with Egypt. I don't know. All this stuff is wild.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not against the idea of a city. Like, I mean, I think, you know, like what we were talking about, like California's probably going to fall into the ocean at some
Yeah.
point. Like, that makes sense that a city could. And if Egypt was like underwater and it was, you know, where is it? Do you know, like, do they think it is? Or
My
was?
favorite theory. Well, okay. One is that have you heard of the Minoan civilization, like where the
Kind
Minotaur came
vaguely.
from?
Yeah.
That so that was like an island in the Mediterranean that there's a volcano on it and it erupted. They know
Oh.
that. So one theory is that that is like one and the same, and just some people refer to it as Atlantis differently. But
Oh.
my favorite theory is that, and because this is because of how it looks, because in the in Plato's story, it's 3 concentric rings. And if you look up the Eye of the Sahara, there's this place in the Sahara Desert that is like, it's raised up and it's 3 rings. And as far as we know, the Sahara Desert did used to be underwater, and just over time, then it wasn't anymore. But they can't go look at that place because of the desert riots or something, like whatever. I forgot what country it's in, but whatever country it's in, politically crazy right now, and you will get killed if you go do geological digs.
So the idea is, so would that mean that it is now? I have some follow-up questions. Is the idea that it was there before the water was there, the water came and flushed it all away, and then the water left again, and now it's the Sahara? Because I don't understand, like, if the water was there before, then you couldn't, then the city would have been underwater, and that doesn't make sense to me. What's the...
No, the rings themselves are elevated enough that they wouldn't have been underwater.
The water would have been around it. So is the idea that then if the city kind of fell underwater at some point, the city is actually just like under all this sand now, that it's like the water's gone?
I guess that is where it would be. Yeah.
Okay.
And then there's also a theory that it was like on an island that was in the Atlantic Ocean, that just due to tectonic shifts over time, the island did legitimately sink. There's also evidence for another older civilization that there's some stories about it that was in the Pacific Ocean, and it was like supposedly in between like Hawaii and the Easter Islands, and then it sank. And the evidence for that is that there are coral reefs that are in between Hawaii and the Easter Islands that are like really low in the ocean, and they usually only form much higher. I don't remember the exact science, but that just indicates that over time the land there has gone down. So if there was something there, it would have sank. Anyway,
that's interesting to think
yeah,
about.
Wild.
We should just make another podcast called Conspiracy Corner.
2 separate podcasts.
An entire podcast with just this, you know?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Good to know. I mean, will we ever know? Probably not. But I think it's an interesting concept. And if they ever do get to go like explore all these places, you know, that'd be cool. I feel like we have to remember that like so much of the ocean is unexplored. So if it is somewhere in the ocean, like I don't think we'll ever be able to find it, but yeah, cool.
There's also this is the really weird conspiracy. There's one person was like, well, you can't find it because it occurred in another dimension, and if you're in separate dimensions, you're not gonna see it. But yeah,
that's so dumb. I do think if anything, like it would make sense if it was underneath all this sand, because I don't think we'd ever find it. And I also think like just with water, and there very well may have been a place that was just kind of washed away, because even if it's, I feel like a lot in my brain and a lot of other people's brains, we're seeing like this is a city and just in its entirety underneath the water, just together, everything's connected. I feel like it's more plausible that like something happened and it's just slowly washed everything away, so we could find things that indicated a human civilization, but I don't think it'd necessarily be like in the form of like a building is just right here in the middle of the ocean or sand, or like you know, or some sort of, you know, house is somewhere, you know, so a house. So I feel like it'd be hard to prove that it was that specific civilization. Yeah, you know. So.
Well, I mean, they're looking at that Egypt stuff because there seems to be something there. I don't know.
That's crazy, man.
I also have a proclamation. This is not a conspiracy.
Proclamation. Bless you.
I have a proclamation. Based on my recent this isn't a conspiracy anymore. So
well, I can't.
Yeah, no, I know. My proclamation, based on podcasts I have listened to and History Channel shows I have watched as of late is that we would not have many problems that we do have now if it was not for self-centered European white monarchs in the 1400s.
I would agree with that. And I think, I think even British people would be like, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Want to hear my evidence for this?
Sure.
Do you know who Makad Brooks is?
I don't.
Apparently I have not seen his work. Apparently he's an actor on like one of the like DC or Marvel shows. I don't remember what.
Here, what's his name?
Makad Brooks.
Makad Brooks. Let's see. Makad. He's known. He was in The Desperate Housewives. Oh, he was in Supergirl. It
Amazing.
looks like. I don't recognize him, but okay, yeah, that makes sense. Okay,
he was on the Duncan Trussell Family Hour, and he was talking about Black Lives Matter movement, etc. And he, I did not know this before. He was talking about like when the slave trade started and how that caused racism. He's like, before this happened, no one was racist really, and people weren't identified by their race. They were identified by what country they were coming from. Like, that's the Ethiopians, that's Egyptians, we got Spanish people, Portuguese, what have you. And then he said that I believe there's like a Portuguese king that was one of the first people to start doing the slave trade. And he was like, well, this kind of looks bad on my part, so I'm going to make up a reason to justify this. And he said that since Christianity was like becoming very prominent, or was already prominent probably in that time in Europe, he was like, well, people don't practice it in Africa. They practice black magic. So these are black people. He didn't mean it by their skin color. He meant it by that they're practicing black magic as opposed to Christianity. And he was like, I'm doing a service by sending them off to America because I'm getting that black magic far away from us, or something like that. So if that is really how it started, that is just interesting to me, because it's interesting that like the term like black didn't used to even mean in terms of skin tone. I don't know. I just thought that was wild. Anyway.
Yeah, I don't.
Mm-hmm.
I'd have to do obviously a little more research on it, but yeah, that's an interesting take on it.
Mm-hmm.
I never thought about that.
Yeah.
I also think, we won't get into that, but that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for your delightful contribution to the conversation, Justin.
Wow, British monarchs.
British monarchs. Ugh. Is there anything else that tickles your fancy? I think that's a good natural stopping point for today.
I think I have one more thing.
Okay, go ahead.
We got to review something.
Oh shit!
And have you read the SNL book thing that you procured from my house?
I am. I'm halfway through. It's really long.
How is it so far?
Good. It's interesting. I always find, I don't know, when I was in middle school, everybody was into young adult novels, and it was really easy for me to read young adult novels. But as I get older, I feel like it's harder to get into a story. You know what I'm saying? So being able to, I just also finished a book called The Actor's Life by Jenna Fisher. And when you're reading something that you're interested in and you're passionate about, and it's just something that you really like, it's so much easier to read a whole book. I've just found myself enjoying this book so much because it's
amazing.
Something that I really, really like. And the same thing with The Actor's Life by Jenna Fisher. It's super interesting to me because it's information that I can use, as opposed to just a random story about post-apocalyptic world,
Yeah.
So, if we're reviewing books, I'd say 10 out of 10.
Amazing.
What about you, Justin? Want to review? Have you started reading that book you just bought by that woman?
I have not. I bet it's a 10 out of 10 because we love her. And then this one, especially for me right now, 10 out of 10 because it's like talking about two things that I do want to know more about, which is business and then how you can relate it to like spiritual type things.
Don't forget to feed the cash cow. That's all
Don't
I'm
forget to
saying.
feed the cash cow.
Very important lesson.
Very important. Yeah, the
Oh my
cash
God, it
cow
looks
is
like
like
looks like it's gonna rain. Sorry
it
to
does.
shut you off. Go ahead.
The
keep
cash
going.
cow is like I think the definition of a cash cow is like something that no matter what will generate some sort of profit, like just things that no matter what people will be buying it, kind of. I don't know. He gave a good example in it, but now I forgot what the cash cow was. Damn it. I forgot to feed the cash cow.
Go.
Uh,
Oh, speaking of, actually, I do have another thing I want to talk about.
Amazing.
Something
We
I'm
love that.
passionate about.
We love
So,
that.
in terms of hobbies, I only have like two
Mhm.
that I'm really like. I always was like, I don't understand what a hobby is because I feel like I'm very extreme. I'm like all or nothing, you know?
Mhm.
So, like, I never considered like theater and stuff a hobby because I was
Mhm.
always like, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. It's not a hobby. It's not a phase, mom.
Yeah.
So, but I did recently find I know that cameras are a
Mhm.
hobby. I love film photography and cameras.
Yeah.
Hobby. But also I've recently gotten into flower pressing. Like taking flowers and I like put them in a book and I put the book away for like a month and a half or whatever and let them dry and flatten out. And I am having such a good time
Amazing.
looking at these flat flowers.
Mm.
Let me tell you.
I love a flat flower.
We love it. I also just love like I've recently just really gotten into like flowers and stuff. Love them. I love them so
Amazing.
much. It makes me sad that flowers don't bloom all year round. That
Mhm.
they're just like it's like one time in the summer and then they're gone, you
Mhm.
know. Especially like poppies are really depressing because it's like so you see them and they're open for like a week and then
Mhm.
they close and then they die basically.
Mhm.
So it's like you know,
So
that sucks.
yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
That was all. It's
I have
exciting.
13 missed FaceTime calls because every time someone calls me and I answer it on my phone, my computer's like, "Yeah, I missed it. Damn it, Justin."
Son of a bitch. Well,
Wild.
that was fun, Justin. I
That
think
was
today
fun.
that was a good catch up.
It was a good catch up.
Oh, good chitty chatty.
The title of this
No.
episode, like catch up corner.
Catch up corner. Ooh.
Uh-huh. Ooh.
That should have been what we called it. Catch up corner. Oh, well, we've already branded ourselves so well.
Dang. Wow.
Okay, well, that's it.
All right. Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks for brunching along with us.
Have you seen how many views the first episode has in
Like
comparison to everything else?
54?
I know. And then every other one's like 8.
Two.
Anyway,
Because I'm pretty sure only one person is watching it, and that person is you with your parents.
I know.
I didn't even watch the last episode. Not because I don't want to, but because I just didn't have time.
Yeah,
But I have post notifications on, and I try to comment on all of them because
we love that.
and then nobody else does.
Well, thanks for tuning in. And we'll see you next time.